I've got X budget.
Okay.
What should I spend it on? When should I start spending money? How do I do ads?
Yeah, I think when to do the ads, and then what's the budget?
And our answer is always 0 times 0 is 0. So if it's not working now, probably don't spend any money.
Exactly. Once again.
And I'm happy to be told I'm wrong.
Yeah, you can say that's not a right thing to say.
No. If I am a firm believer, if it's not broke, don't fix anything. So if you're going along and this is what you want to do, that's fine. I think when somebody's a startup, it depends on on where they're going and what they're doing. Is if they want to grow organically, get the word out there, affiliate yourself with a gym, get your governance worked out, get your affiliation, get your network happening, get out there and use that as much as you can. Social media really is the way to go at the moment. So Facebook, you've got to be on Facebook, especially if you're going to people. So a lot of people are still on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. Every day there are 11.5 million users on Facebook. So people think it's getting old, but it's not. The majority of those 11.5 million people are between 29 and 35.
Wow.
About 6.5 of them.
Million. It's good to know that information.
We now post on Facebook.
Yeah, it's good to know that information because we were just like TikTok's, Facebook's getting to for old people.
Yeah, boomers.
Yeah. Well, just like the people, like my mum, poking at her phone like this and stuff, posting her photos to her story and stuff instead of making albums and shit.
Yeah.
No, it's still.
Wow, that's good
one.
Information. Yeah,
and it is. So with TikTok, that's what I'm saying. It's about a brand. It's not selling something. It's people actually enjoying looking things.
Yeah.
And then they want to see the next one. Then they're actually not ready to go and click through to you.
Yeah.
Because they just want to keep. So that's getting your brand message out there, which they will remember, but it's not necessarily going to click through to you wanting to buy something directly or going directly to you. That's still Facebook.
Yeah.
And YouTube.
YouTube's huge.
And your Insta with your podcasts.
Yeah.
So that's taking it. And you can get your messages and things like that out there.
Yeah.
So it's free stuff. Just start posting. Just start exploring who you are, what your personality is.
Yeah.
If you want to grow organically, traditional sort of things is a business plan. Putting a business plan together. You want a certain amount of income in 12 months' time. All right. Mathematics to sort of get there is if you want a fast growth to that, then take 9% of what your total turnover, your targeted turnover is you want it to be, and you invest that into marketing. All right. If you're happy with the way you're going and you just want to continue your custom and maybe just grow a little bit, 5% is the way to go. So
revenue, profit.
Revenue.
Yeah.
Revenue.
That makes sense with some of the numbers we've heard from other businesses.
Because and then you've just got to, because you don't want to, if profit, it's there's nothing left. Like you won't have any money to spend at all.
Yeah.
So you're just going with revenue. If you're just happy the way you go, retail clients.
I just realised that our budgeting template allocates 10% of weekly revenue to marketing.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Good job, Ben.
There you go.
Good job, Ben.
There you go.
Lamborghinis in 12 months.
Yeah, exactly. So you're on a growth phase.
And no, this is the model we have in Standout. We give to everyone else.
That's
it. By accident.
Yeah, and that is that is sort of, it comes down to mathematics.
Yeah.
But you don't want to spend your profit on your advertising unless you're in a growth phase.
Yeah. I think so many people would be blown away by that. Would just be like, oh, really? Like it's that. Like the 6-figure PT thing is like in our space, it's huge. So it's like, okay, so cool. You're looking at $9,000 a year. Yeah. And most PTs would be like, oh, that's too much. It's like, I'm going to throw $20 here or $50 there or whatever. And they're so disconnected from the reality of what.
No, you've got to throw that
numbers.
Yeah. Because if you're just throwing $10 and $20 and $100, don't expect it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because one, you're not being consistent.
Yeah, and we've done it, guys. It doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. So, but sometimes when you're starting off, that's all you've got. So
Yeah.
you do that, and then you just see where it goes, and
Yeah.
you just know that okay, it's going to take me a little bit longer.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I can afford it at this point, or I want to do that because PT is my second business, and I just want it to, I want it to be my first, but I just simply haven't got the money. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's just knowing what your goal is, so that when you actually progress with your goals, you're not disappointing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just come out and go, oh, I'm just going to spend $100 there and $200 there, and all of a sudden everyone's going to want me.
Yeah. Well,
It's not going to happen.
another thing that kind of gets pushed across as well. This is just like, when can I expect things to
Return.
moon?
Yeah,
It's like, like, oh, if I spend this, what can I expect from that? It's like, it seems, from our experience, and we're still, working progressively on that. It's like, we can't tell you because, we did that scoping call with you and it was like, we need to do this, we need to fix this, we need to sort this out, and then come back to us. And then there's all this, testing and finding things out, and you can't really sit there and say, do this and you'll get it.
Yeah. And that's the advice we're giving, similar to what you did with us. Was like, hey, we want to give you some money. And you were like, no, go do this
not yet.
first.
No, you're not ready.
Can you fix this for us?
Yeah.
No. But yeah, we give the same advice. Like, if you're even leveraging the social media platforms, it's like, if you have made 0 sales through your online platforms so far, just multiplying. Your goal is to multiply that outcome with a paid spend. 0 times 0 is 0. So make sure you actually have something working that you can refine and push some money behind to get
just
more momentum. Not
something more than an Instagram page as well.
Well, that's
exactly
a lot of people
that.
are just raw, like nothing. Just has they have an ABN and then they've maybe done a TikTok and a Facebook page. They're like, oh, I'm going to start paid marketing. It's like, what are people going to do when they see your post? Like, it's just like losing the concept of what marketing is.
Exactly.
And the other parts of brand and all that, like that, kind of nice little triad and stuff.
Yeah, it's that overlap of what we were saying earlier, where it's like they're trying to do sales where they should be marketing, and they actually have no sales.
That's right, because it's actually the messaging. And then it's also a very important part of marketing is response. And that is how you respond. So it's engagement.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm curious. We obviously have the most success when we are incredibly hands-on in our social media.
Yes.
So and I'm trying to communicate this to our guys at the moment, that they expect posting content, go to website, book, sell. Where what we've experienced, at least in my coaching business and for Standout as well, is like, I would say 85%, 90% of our sales come from actually making contact and having communication within usually the DMs that then leads to that sale.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you're leaving like 90% of your potential business on the table by just like, oh, I got 100 likes. And that's like, oh, amazing. How many of them did you message? It's like, oh, none.
No.
But
That's what I mean.
I'm all about
response.
Yeah. But I'm all about community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but no, you're not.
Yeah.
You didn't even bother answering me. But yeah, no, that's what it is. It's about responses and responding in the right way to, even if it's having the right landing page for people to go on with it. So giving all the information that you need, saying thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you, with a larger scale business than us, for example, how do you scale that? Do you just have someone that would, these bigger companies, are they still doing that, or are they just, the turnover is so high that it's okay, people will just funnel through, or it's like you just hire a social media manager? Like, what's the scalability there?
The scalability is having somebody full-time on social media doing it. So it is... it is because people do expect a response these days.
Yeah.
And the review system these days as well. If you get a bad review, well, you've got to jump on it. You've got to go, thank you for your feedback, etc. You've got to respond to it because things can turn so quickly in the digital space.
Yeah.
So no, the bigger companies with the scaling they have. The big companies have got hundreds of people just on social media.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, you want to know a person's on the other line too. I feel like we've gone past the stage of like a bot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not.
You can
The
weed
bots,
them.
they can't. No.
You can weed them out real quick too,
Yeah.
and it just gets frustrating after that.
Yeah.
Half of my challenge is not sounding like a bot in the DMs. Like,
yeah, me too.
It's like
I'm not that great with text
like,
messages.
hey, thanks
Yes.
for the follow flex.
Hi,
Like,
do you train?
yeah. It's like making sure you put a name in there and making sure it's so hard. And then it's also hard because like it's so saturated with crap.
Yeah.
And like you get, even if it's not a bot, it's a person, but it's with some
Yeah, but they might have their
system.
guard up as well. Like, because
Yeah.
they're just, they've been burnt before, or they just know that it's like, so-and-so's done. Like, we talk about it all the time, like the classic kind of, we get approached all the time. They'll like 4 pictures.
Yeah.
They'll put a bullshit comment on one of your photos,
Yep.
and then they just hit you straight in the DMs, and you've never even. And they're like, "Hey, I'm a business coach. I'll help you scale your business."
And I have
marketing and
I
all
have
that
600
stuff.
followers
gosh.
myself.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got a fake account, so
Yeah.
come, let me leverage your business, and
that'll only cost you $20,000,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
need the money up front.
Yeah.
Yes. No. There's a lot of things companies out there that are doing that.
Yeah.
And be wary.
Yeah.
Look, as much as I hate to say it, is go to the reviews on their companies. Actually, have a look and make an informed decision. Don't just go with those online things.
Are there things that you would look for? Like, we kind of had a couple of calls we had a call with someone, and it was like just an awful experience.
Yes.
And we were like, this is already enough.
Yeah.
But there's probably people that don't have the experience that we have to kind of identify those things.
What are the red flags?
Yeah, are there any red flags, or it's just like, outside of checking the review process, it's like, if your gut tells you no, don't do it.
Oh, I think I firmly believe if your gut tells you no, don't do it,
Yeah.
then don't do it.
The funnel was so good that even after that call, I sent a message to the owner, an email, and I was like, we have just had the worst consult experience I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
I assume you've just got the wrong person involved.
Yep.
So if you're happy to do this and move forwards, like if you want to jump on a call with us and talk to us, and like we're happy to give you another opportunity.
Yep.
And he basically was just like, I've dealt with egos like you before.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, well then you just go,
Yeah.
boom, gone.
We were
It was $5,000 to get to the call to him, or something like that.
Yeah, it was,
And we were like,
and it was refundable, and we were just like, nah, man, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go refundable.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she was like, the salesperson was like eating and stuff during the call. It was wild.
It took like 90 minutes too, which is like, please just get to stop reading the script and tell us how much it is.
Yeah.
Read the room.
I
Read
mean,
the
you
room.
haven't got time for that.
Yeah.
Went for
You
that
just
long,
wanna
she
get
had to
on.
eat.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting.
No, look, there's good and bad people in every field. There's good and bad
Yeah.
industries. There's good and bad companies. There's and it's fielding your way through it.
It must be hard for you guys to overcome
Or try and position yourselves.
Oh, it
not.
definitely
the stigma around like
especially when there's everybody in India that can do things half the price
Yeah,
or a quarter of the price, and even the Fivers with the graphic design and things like that. Small businesses, more PTs go to Fiverr. They are they're the ones.
Yeah.
But once you get to a certain professionalism, you've just got to you got to go up there.
you
gotta
realize
get
that
there.
you realize that the money, you get to a point where you realize the money's not worth it. It's not worth saving.
And the time as well, if you're just having to redo it again.
Yeah.
The old adage, buy cheap, buy twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, actually.
It's okay to do that at the beginning when you're limited. But once you're starting to become a little bit more professional, then you've got to act professionally.
Yeah.
And you've got to pay professionally. So,
Yeah.
So before we keep going, I just want to give you guys a little message about our Standout PT program. So Standout PT has been designed for personal trainers who want to sustain a long-term career in fitness, but right now they're sick of chasing clients, they're not making enough time for money, and they're super frustrated with the results that they're getting in their business, and they can't see themselves being here in 3 to 5 years' time. If you want to know more about the Standout PT program, head to STCfitLearning.com. Head to programs, and all the details are there, and you can book in your free exploration call where we can have a look and see whether or not that would actually be a suitable program for where your business is at right now. And back to the episode. So our experience moving into this like paid ads environment, because it's the first time we've actually done it properly.
yes.
Consistently.
First thing so we tried to do it by ourselves and we just got banned.
Yeah,
Facebook
just couldn't
was
get
like-
the ads through. They're like, let's ban this account for another 2 weeks.
And then I think we're just like still not allowed in there.
Yeah.
ever.
I think as soon as we log in, they're just like, ban them.
Yeah.
They're in again.
It would be cool to look at a bit of a timeline of how to actually, you're in a position where you can afford that 9-10% of your revenue to invest into something, and you do want to moon, as we call it, when Lambo.
Yeah.
Yep.
You do want to go to that next level. You know you need to do something. What do we actually expect? Like, we've heard before that it's common that a Facebook Meta account will get shut down if it's not all set up correctly.
It has to be totally set up correctly.
Yeah.
Even just with the workshop, you currently had a workshop and we got the message out there. Every time we updated the ad, there was a 24-hour delay for it to get approved again. So you're losing time there.
Yeah.
And Facebook are so diligent these days on having everything perfect because in that space at the moment there are so many critics. They're never going to get it all right. There's always going to be messages that are going to get out there that people are going to be offended by, etc., etc. So they've got their algorithms in place, but yes, it is so strict and it is so difficult to get right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once you've been banned, trying to get back on.
Yeah, that's what we found.
Over.
It's tough.
Game over.
Yeah.
So we do the right things. We make the meta gods happy.
The meta gods.
We throw a heap of money in.
Well, you don't have to be a heap, just, enough.
And then we go, cool, everything's done. I'm going to get sales tomorrow.
No, that's not going to happen.
So this has obviously been a learning experience for us as well. And we sort of spoke at the start, like it's probably like we had a 2-month kind of setup phase, and then it's like probably going to be 2-3 months to really start to learn and understand what's going on.
Get the traction you want.
Yeah. So you're looking at kind of 5-6 months to really see the worth and the outcomes.
True sales.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bit
true
of a slow,
sales.
bit of a slow burn, kind of nurturing period.
Yeah. So can we, even if we use ourselves as a case study, because we always tell the guys what we're doing anyway, we're really upfront about it. So stage 1 was make sure we had the business, I guess, the funnel in place. Like, can they go to a website? Can they find stuff?
Exactly.
Is it clear?
Where's the response? Where's the messaging? Does it make sense? Do I know what I'm buying? Is it clear? Yeah. Getting your house in order. I always believe, look, before I have people over, I tidy my house.
Yeah.
So tidy house and then invite people in.
Yeah. And then we went, cool, so we're not going to go direct sell. Selling that direct sell is going to come after. So it's going to be a retargeting thing. So we need some valuable lead magnets that are actually going to get some opt-in. So STCfitlearning.com/scorecard. You should go and do it. So we use that. It's like, cool, and we've got consults to close. So they're the 2 things that we're going to be marketing. And then we took the approach of let's target the audience that's seen us before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what was the thought process behind that?
Well, because they already knew you and we were putting money into it, they recognised you. So, and you had thousands of Insta people that we could tap into. So there was a volume there. So there was more likely to tap into that because they had already experienced you. So we only had a certain amount of money. We didn't want to throw a whole heap of money because we're just testing what the market is. So we picked, let's say a figure of $1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to go $10,000 because you need to test it. The last thing I'm going to say is go and throw $10,000 into something we haven't tested.
Which we've done before.
Yes.
Done it all, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Fucked it all up. Yeah. You name it, we've done it.
Is let's just test the market. Okay, let's just throw the $1,000. Let's see what the response is. And because you had so many thousand viewers of Instagram, we had a nice little base to start from. So we looked at the way they engaged and we did it, and that's great. Now what we're going to do is we are going to look at that market and now create an audience of like people from that market.
Nice.
That's what we're going to be doing next month. we
So
didn't
welcome
want
to
to
the
do it.
podcast if we
There
found
you go. We didn't want to do it this month because we wanted to throw some money into your workshop instead.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, don't just throw money there and throw money there. We were actually quite sensible and went, well, all right, we're ticking it along quite good here. We do want some responses here. So instead of adding more money, we'll just take some of this money. We will just slow down that message there. That's getting quite a good impressions. We won't try and create a larger audience now. We'll just keep going with the people that know you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've got a good message that is getting out there. We can see the responses. We're seeing that people are actually liking the message.
Yep.
We might refine the message a little bit more before we actually go out to market. But what we're going to do is have a look at the whole responses over March.
Yeah.
And then have a look at that.
I think we've learnt heaps already. Like just we started obviously with graphics, then we tried video. Video was way more successful. Then we tried some changes on the video itself, which is even more successful. And just like, okay, I think because we do have that authenticity kind of message, they've been me so far, you'll be on fit soon.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself.
Go, Chase.
I'm ready.
Get those guns happening.
That's kind of created a level of trust within it anyway. Because it's like, oh, that's a dude. And I've probably seen like that podcast background before and it's all familiar and it's all sort of relatable. So that's really cool. So we also spoke, I think, a week or so ago about we needed a certain amount of views or visits on the podcast. There's a thing called a Facebook tracking pixel that picks up who comes through.
Exactly.
And then we need a certain amount of visits to be able to actually generate that audience itself, right?
Exactly. So the more people that you have coming to your pixel, that's what we call the funnel system. Mm-hmm. So once we know how many people have connected or engaged with your initial experience, once that's sort of reached, the figure's around about 20,000.
Yep.
That's when we know we can go further and then get you down through to a funnel system.
Yeah, and that's where like $50 here and there, it's not it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you've got to go through this funnel process.
Correct. Yeah.
People tend not to, unless you've got a product.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're not offering a product, you're offering a service.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. TikTok, Facebook, marketing, things like that. Unless if you're offering a service, it's going to be a slow burn.
Yeah.
It's not demand and supply.
Yeah.
I need I want a mug. I want a water bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not just going out and going, anybody who wants a water bottle, I like that water bottle, I'll buy that now.
Yeah.
Okay, because they will buy it now. They won't go, I'll think about that and wait for the ad to come back because they know it's not going to.
Yeah. My Instagram with golf club.
No one really does that when they want a coach either. They're just like, I'll just go get a coach and I'm just going to pick this one.
No, they don't.
No,
it's an informed decision that they want to make.
100%,
I mean, it's very personal for them. They need to make the right decision.
Yeah.
So, it's a slow burn.
Yeah. We know our audience's, I would say, shortest exposure in the past has been like a couple like hit straight away and they catch a good episode and they're straight involved.
Yes.
I found you at the right time and you get them on the spot, which is great. But
normally happens in January or February.
Yeah. Usually it's actually more 3 months, 6 months. We had a guy come to the workshop over the weekend. First time we had ever interacted with him. Mm-hmm. I was like, I've seen your name around for ages. He's like, I've been following you guys for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is our first proper like exchange of any funds or anything. So it's the impatience, I think, that comes with like a lot of lessons for the PT who maybe aren't where we are, that don't have the revenue that we have yet. And they're like, all good for Ben and Jace to spend. So like 10,000 views to a website. Like I've never even seen that many people. Like I understand all that, but this is where the importance of consistently showing up with your content, and even if it's not hitting, we were able to tap into when I saw the number, it was like 500,000 or something views total that we'd had on Reels. I was like, we haven't wasted 2 years doing this.
No,
because this data set is there for us to leverage.
It's there that we can leverage off. Like, you haven't wasted time or money. But what you've given is a great base.
Yeah.